Just first of all, just very frustrated, disappointed. This is certainly not what Cincinnati football is all about. I can promise you that. It's not what we're going to be about. We're going to play better football so we can go out and get these wins. And this one certainly was there for us to go get, and we didn't do it. It starts right with me. Some calls we could have done differently in that game. And it's very frustrating. And we made some mistakes today. For just freaking giving them a touchdown on a kickoff return. Nothing they really did there except for us just giving it to them. Gave up a punt return, huge punt return in the game. I think offensively, a couple times on fourth down, we went for it. The first drive, it's a touchdown. We dropped the snap or exchange there, but Peyton's wide open in the flat. It's going to be an easy touchdown. Late in the game, we go for it on fourth. We're down 12, I think, at that point. Trying to get some touchdown on the board. We didn't get that fourth down as well. On a positive note, which was different than last week, once we got down there in the second half, our guys didn't hang their head. They continued to play, and we had an opportunity to come back and win the game on the last drive. So I am proud of our guys for that. There was great energy on the sideline today throughout the whole game, which we talked about last week. There was not. We wanted to come in and establish the run, and we were able to do that. I thought our backs ran hard today. We had some explosive runs in the running game. We have not seen that this year like we had today. That's a definite positive. I thought Corey and Miles ran very hard, did some great things in the running game. The guys up front blocked well today. And, so I thought they did. We put our defense in some bad positions, and we held them to field goals, which was a great job by our defense. Kicking game was huge, though. When you think about the punt return, you think about us giving them a touchdown on kickoff return, and their field goal kicker, knocking down those field goals. But again, the difference was we lost the turnover margin again, 1-0. We did not create any, and we didn't give our defense a chance to stop them on that one. It was a touchdown. So. There's certainly some things we can build off of, but certainly extremely disappointed in not finishing the game there, particularly on the last drive.
Questions are good. The decision not to go for field goals, is that just a feel for the momentum of the game at the time, or is that what the players want?
Yeah, I think the first drive we thought we had a great play call, really set up for that particular one, and it was there. We executed it all week in practice, knowing that's what we're going to do, and it was there, and we didn't execute today in that particular series. Hindsight's 20/20 on the other one that I'm thinking about down here in this red zone. I think it was 4th and 4 or 5, and roughly in that range. Emory threw it out. The receiver broke in. A play that we hit later on in the game a bunch across the on that hash there. But again, trying to be aggressive in that particular point because we're down 12. And I felt like in the second half they were getting some long drives. How many possessions are we going to be able to get? So that was kind of decision making into that one.
Special teams, you gave up a long return again on a punt, and then obviously the fumble for the touchdown. What is it going to take to get that back on track? It feels like it's kind of been sliding.
Yeah, I think last week our punt team was great, and today was really good, except for that one. That was a roll punt. The ball, you're supposed to punt the ball on this side. The ball was more to the middle of the field. So our guys were really more running this way, and ended up pinning our guys, and he took it right up the middle. Now we have to adjust in that particular sense right there on that punt. But that was good execution on them. Now the one that's unacceptable totally is the fumble. And that should have been a fair catch. We were fair catching it today, unless they gave us a kick that was really, really short. But I think that one maybe around the 3-yard line. So it should have been a fair catch on that particular one. And but it's unacceptable to fumble the football. We particularly Braden. Braden, he's a veteran player, played a lot of football. He's got to take care of the ball in that sense.
Coach, it seems like obviously special teams have been an issue, but turnovers were a little bit better as far as Emory. Is that something that you guys worked on this week in practice as far as maybe getting him out of the pocket? It seems like he's more comfortable on the run.
Yeah, and we certainly emphasized taking care of the ball offensively, and and we did a much better job with that today. I thought we had a better plan with what we were trying to do. And I thought, it gave us an opportunity and chance there in the second half, to be able to come back into the game. There were some big conversions. In the second half, we started converting the third downs. In the first half, not as much. And so I thought we did much better with adjustments we made at halftime to come back in the second half to be able to throw the football to get back in the game. And we were able to do that. And, we certainly emphasized that, and I think, trying to move Emory around is certainly a valid point, not just sitting in the pocket. Right before half, we gave up 2 sacks, and it really just sat right in the pocket. We in those scenarios, get them out of the pocket. Let's try to get something moving on the outside so they just can't tee off in the pocket.
Looked like there was more energy today, vocally in every way. Was that a point of emphasis throughout the week, and did you kind of see that impact?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was awful last week. We mentioned that in here, and I think to the team's credit, they saw it and felt it, and they felt, hey, listen, we're coming out. And we're going to have a live sideline, a lot of energy, and you saw that the whole game. And I really think that's how we fed off of that, and that's how we were able to come back and get into the game there at the end to have a chance to go either tie it or win it. And I also saw today guys having each other's back, and I think that is incredibly important. We're so much. There is a lot of newness going on, and with this team, with these coaches, and with everybody trying to blend, and we're learning a lot this year. But what we have to continue to learn is to play for each other and continue to have each other's back. Well, I saw that today, maybe for the first time this year. And that is a great sign of a team that is continuing to fight and continue to play for each other, and that's what we have to have. I mean, again, it's very disappointed, but I mean, if I'm going to take a positive out, that is positive, and we can help build off of that as we move forward.
You mentioned ball security, and you had 4 fumbles, only lost 1, but was that more about what Baylor was doing, or is that more self-inflicted?
Yeah, I mean, we go back and watch the film. I mean, I'm sure, I think it's self-inflicted. I mean, I think we have to, we talk about holding the ball high and tight, especially in traffic. I mean, these defenses do a great job of hitting, trying to knock the ball out with their helmet or hand, swiping at the ball. One time, Corey had a first down, and then they fumbled back, and we fell on it, and then now it's 4th down. We had to punt. That was an unfortunate bounce. So just hold on to the ball right there in that scenario. We get a first down. We're staying on the move. But I feel like we work on ball security a lot. Not creating those fumbles. But one of them was Emory on the 4th down, the running back and the exchange right there when we're trying to pull it. Those type things are frustrating because that doesn't happen in practice. I mean, we're really clean with that. So I hate it that it happened, when we needed it.
Chad and Neil.
The last offensive play, did it look to you like it was there early? Defense was there early?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we hit Braden on the sideline right here. He's trying to run an out route. He can't run the out route because he's getting restricted and the ball's thrown right out in front of him. I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do. And then that was all over his back. I mean, we got to be able to make the play, but it is extremely difficult if you're going against a man team when they had to stop us and they're playing man. Here's what I'll say about it. Defenses will go as hard as you allow them to go when it comes to those type things. And if you allow them to do it, they're going to keep doing it and do it, even more, right? We've seen our share of DPI calls throughout this season. Coming into this game, we led the Big 12 in DPI calls. Some of them, it's just not consistent.
You talked about it in the past of the explosive plays, especially on the offensive side of things. Miles and Corey ripped off 3 big runs today of 35 plus. Just talk about the performance from those running backs.
Glad you asked. Great explosive runs today. That's why I mentioned them at the beginning. Miles and Corey really ran hard today, and it really started up front because our O-line popped some holes for those guys. It was great to see those guys, breaking out, making some big time runs. One of them was on the 3rd down when Miles broke a tackle, and hit the sideline, and scored a touchdown. Our longest run from scrimmage that scored, and that's awesome. And we got to have more of that. And so I really, Miles, I thought gave us a great spark today with, some of his explosive runs, and then Corey as well. He broke off a 40-yarder as well today. So for the first time really this year, I thought those 2 guys really did some great things in the running game.
Is it unusual to lose when you have 2 100-plus yard runners?
Extremely.
I mean, you've probably had it before, but typically that's a win.
Yeah. 288 yards rushing to 80, you win. Usually.
Coach, it seems like you guys have really struggled against the pass and deep plays this
We
year.
have.
How do you get better with that? As it seems like, Keytron Jackson had 130 yards today, multiple explosive plays behind the secondary.
Yeah, I mean we're trying. I mean we don't have much depth in the secondary. The guys that are playing are the guys that we have to play. I think sometimes we get nosy with our eyes and are trying to go stop the run sometimes, and then we're supposed to be back and help out in the secondary. That's that certainly it has been a point of emphasis to try to get better at that, because we are good at stopping the run. And giving up those big pass plays. One of them was a trick play that they hit down the sideline. One of them was a post. One of them was we were double covered. We had him double covered, number 11, down the sideline before a 55-yard bomb. We got to stay on top. We have to stay on top and make that be an incompletion. It's particularly if you're getting double covered. So those are things we have to get better at. And because teams are going to see it, they've seen it. I mean, they see it on film, and so we come in here on Saturdays and they're going to attack that. They're going to try to throw it deep on us, and teams have done that and had success in that. So we have to stay on top.
Shaman seemingly looking like the top option over the middle over the past couple weeks. Is he kind of fitting nicely into that role as a nice middle of the field?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we certainly started to utilize him more over the last 3 weeks, and he's a big target. Big catch radius, big guy in the middle. To me, a hard guy to cover. Even if it's man, because you got he can kind of box some of those guys out over the middle. Some big third down catches today by Shaman, and I say this every week. He's getting better and better, and he can get a lot better. But I think it's certainly good to have a security blanket right in the middle of the field. When you third down, you need to get a first down.
You talked about the energy this team brought to you. A guy like Deshaun Pace finished with the game high, 11 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, a sack, quarterback Curry, anything you name it. Just talk about his performance and the energy he sparked for that defense.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fast player, and then when he's in the right spot, he can make plays. And so being able to have him and coming off that edge today to cause some problems and havoc off I think that was some huge plays that he was able to make. And we have utilized his speed. He's a quick twitch guy. Yeah, I mean, he had a big time game today. We obviously need that from him to be able to put pressure on the quarterback, and I thought we did some good things putting pressure on the quarterback today. Coming from Deshaun and some of the D line, giving some good havoc on the quarterback. So that was obviously good to see.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Senior defensive lineman Janan Briggs. Questions for Janan?
This has got to be frustrating for you. How do you keep your head up, keep your teammates together, and kind of get through this thing on the other side?
It's just a matter of focus, whether it be, you can't really point the finger at anyone except for ourselves. So it's really just focus and locking in on what we can improve on. There are a lot of plays that we let just simply slip by, beat ourselves in a sense. So we just need to really hone in and lock in on those.
Coach said there was more energy today, and he saw you guys having each other's backs for maybe the first time this season. Was that something that you really wanted to do as a leader on this team?
Yeah, we got together as a Bearcat council, a couple of the older guys, and really tried to lock in and find any competitive edge we can have. One thing that we really thought was energy would really add to it, really organic energy, not fake. And I think the guys did a good job, just being out there and having that juice is something that we were really able to lean into.
Blake Chapin to chase around today compared to last week's guy?
Excuse me?
Today's quarterback compared to the guy last week. Two similar guys, but effective at times.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same story. Guys that can put the ball on the money and then also use their legs to get out of there. This guy was a bit more mobile than we had, previously thought, with him having the thing on his legs. So it was just a matter of making sure we got him on the ground. I mean, he contributed to their rushing total a lot, with some of those quarterback scrambles. He was also able to put the ball on the money to their skill guys, and they did a good job at going up and getting those balls and making those contested catches. So again, that's just something that we need to, take to our pillow and get better at.
Coach talked about how the defensive line could really get home today and created some pressures up front. What were guys like you, Dante, Eric, all seeing there, obviously, and then you had the 3rd and 2 play where you get the tackle for loss. What did you see on that play exactly?
On the tackle for loss, it was simple. I'm looping outside. Pretty much there's nothing outside, check outside, you check the quarterback. They actually kind of flubbed up the handoff a little bit, squeezed back down inside a bit, and then just end up finishing on the ball. You call it playing wide dive to quarterback. So, loop, get upfield, check the wide dive, check the quarterback, and you end up just squeezing it down. But again, that play was only made by everybody else doing exactly what they were supposed to do, clogging it up on the inside, clogging it up on the front side, and allowing for that ball to roll back to me.
Penalties are bad, but Threats gets the stop on 4th down. Sideline goes crazy. Was that good to see, that type of energy from everybody kind of rallying together there?
Although they're bad, and although, again, it's a silly penalty, that's just something that really just makes me cry on the inside. It was beautiful to see. Beautiful to see the team come together and beautiful to see everybody's emotions, united to one cause, one thing, and that was trying to get the win.
Pretty impressive, too.
I agree.
Any other questions for Jawan? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We have Evan Prater next. Questions for Evan?
2-point conversion. Feel good to get yourself on the board there?
Yeah, I felt good to get back in there. It's a play that we've been working on for a while now, and running it against the defense. All those guys were saying, no way it's going to work. If they get hands on you, it's over with. But my focus is kind of just getting that snap to Emery and trying to make a play for my guys. So.
How many times have you snapped the ball in a game?
In a game, 0. 0. Yeah, that was the first.
You've been here for a while. What's kind of your impression of this coaching staff? Because there's obviously a lot of people on the outside doubting them right now. But how much do you trust this coaching staff and what they can do for you?
I trust this coaching staff 110%. These guys want the best for us, and like Jawan said, it's kind of one of those things that we're beating ourselves out there. We're putting ourselves in positions to win games, and then also at the same time, there's a couple plays here and there that are driving towards these losses. But I trust this coaching staff. They believe in us 100%, and you can tell that they're here for our best interest, and us players, we want to do the same for them. So moving forward, I don't think there's any trust issues between the guys and them. So we're just trying to get on the right track.
You've been in Emery's shoes. How do you feel for him in a game where this is there to be had, and again, it doesn't happen? It's got to be frustrating. You've been there yourself. I'm sure he's given you some words of wisdom, but do you do that back to him?
Oh yeah, me and Emery, we have a great relationship. In the spring, it kind of just started there, and in moments like these, he knows that I'm a guy that he can talk to and that we can relate. He's a leader on this team. He has great experience, so I know he's been in moments like these, but it's going to hurt every time. But up there in that locker room right now, Emery is one of those guys that's trying to keep everybody up, holding their heads high, telling people kind of don't be down on yourself. There's a lot more season to be played. So having a guy like that with the experience and the knowledge, it's something special, not for only me, but everybody else on this team, having someone like that to encourage them and just know that we might not have gotten the result we want today, but moving forward, it's in the past, and just focus on the future.
You talk about a guy like Emory Jones. Obviously, Jawan just mentioned it about the Bearcat Leader Council. Could you walk us through who's on that, or how this process has gone, obviously, through this tough time, and how have you guys really maintained that high levelness?
It's a group of us. Let's say it's Jawan, Emery, me, John Williams, Kendra, Gavin, DG, Malik Van, Briggs, Dante, Ryan Montgomery, Taj Ward. It was one of those things that kind of everybody on the team voted for, who wanted to be on this council. We got a couple young guys in there as well, but kind of the team voted that, and every Sunday we'll have a meeting kind of on what we think we need to focus on moving forward. And that was one of those things that he talked about, was just having that organic energy on the sideline. That was one of those things that came up in that conversation. But that week is that meeting at the end of the week is kind of one of those things that we just kind of want to get the kinks out, things that we have on our mind, kind of expressing it to some of the coaches, and it's been very helpful, and I think it'll only help us grow moving forward.
Any other questions for Evan? Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Corey Connor. Questions for Corey?
What were you seeing out there today? Obviously, 100+ yards, and you've done it multiple times in the season, but you guys got the run game going again today when you've kind of been missing it in past weeks.
Yeah, the O-line receivers were doing a great job blocking, opening up the holes, running lanes, and all that kind of stuff. So just spraying the run game.
How much of a focus was getting outside? It looked like you guys were trying to kind of get the edges on them.
That's always one of our focuses, especially in this offense. So this week it just happened to be hitting.
How important was it for a guy like yourself and Miles Montgomery both to have these big days? Obviously, this was something that's been in the works. You guys were trying to get the run game going. How important was it for you guys to establish that run game today?
Oh, it was very important because we were the focal point in this offense, trying to get the run game started. And when you saw when the run game got opened up, everything else opened up in the passing game. So
Five
Brian and then Scott.
5 straight losses. How do you, as a leader, keep the team together in the locker room?
trying to lead by example, coming in here, working every day, showing people that just because we're losing, that don't mean we can't win. Like, you got to keep trying to win.
Coach said a couple weeks ago there wasn't explosive runs. Today he said there were explosive runs. I mean, you guys had to have seen that, and that had to have been some motivation to step it up, because you look like you're running awfully hard right now.
Yes, sir. That's our goal every time we step on the field, to have explosive runs. It just happened to be hitting this week. Like I said, the receivers in the O-line were doing a great job blocking.
Any other questions for Corey? Thank you. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.